Call the Clinton Utility Board meeting to get to order tonight. First on the agenda will be the public comment section. Hello, good to see you
Hello,
again.
friends. Before I get started, I just wanted to ask a question. How are we, or where are we on the free opt-out? We on the same page yet? No? No, we're not on the same page. Okay, well, I'll go ahead and get started then. Holding someone accountable is something you do for them. It's not something you do to them. Actually, the best thing you can do for them. Because when you hold someone to a high standard of excellence, you send a very powerful unconscious message. And that's the case here. I care so much about this city that I'm not going to let us slide by doing less than we're capable of. Your job as board members is to educate yourself on everything that comes before this board and then make an informed decision on the matters at hand. My experience with the board is not that. It doesn't seem like anybody tries to go outside of their area of expertise to learn any new information. And as a board, I feel like there needs to be some accountability there. Deferring everything back to one person and not, it seems like a cop out to me. Now, I could be wrong. You guys could have gotten into the research in the last couple months. Am I wrong? No. So I've discussed all the things. I've given you the information that I can. If I can't encourage you to do your own, to go and do your own research, and just defer things back to the manager, I wanted to let you guys know my plan of action because I have one. I turned my application in to sit on the board seat that opens up July 1st. To the mayor and the city manager. So I'll know July 1st if I'll be here joining you guys on this board. We on the agenda this month at City Council, we've made the list. So the 23rd, City Board, I'll be pursuing that avenue as well. And lastly, if I'm not appointed to the seat, which, it's a sole mayor appointment and it doesn't have anything to do with anybody in this room, right? Then I'm going to run for mayor in November and I'll appoint my own board. And I just wanted to come and give you guys the good news. So I appreciate it. I'm sorry that we couldn't have gotten the free opt-out for everybody and I couldn't have just gone away and not come back. But I have a plan of action. I just wanted to share it with my new friends tonight. Let you guys know we'll see a lot more of each other here in the near future. That's all. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Any comments or anything from the board? I will make one comment, not to engage in it, but I did go do some research on this stuff, and which was informative to me. I will also tell you, from the board's perspective, we do have a general manager that's put in place whose job it is to run the day. Our job as a board is to really set policy, and it's the general manager and the management teams to, administer the operations of the day to day. Even though the comments come into us, there's no question at the board level, but it is our job to help policy set, help set strategic direction, but it is the leadership team. And so we appreciate you coming. We wish you well. We appreciate how you have handled yourself here. No question you have.
I look forward to working with you guys in July.
And you are extremely professional about how you handle yourself. So I just want to acknowledge that. But
I will continue that as I sit on this board.
And I wish you well.
All right. Well,
But I do want to just tell you, I did do research, just so you know. I didn't want you to think that, and I think others have as well. Didn't want you to think that we had not listened and not done some research. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate you. Thank you. All right. Let's move on to the approval of minutes.
So moved.
Second, McNally. Second, Mr. Harrell. Any questions, comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Let's move to the vouchers, please. Any comments or questions about them?
Motion to approve.
Motion, Mr. McBride. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. McNally. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Monthly reports approval, please. Mr. General Manager.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. That we continue to to exceed our forecast, which is great. We need to be in a better position because I don't know how the load factor is going to affect us in the coming months. We when it's 70 in February, it's generally not good for revenue for us. I love it and it's fine. I don't wish cold weather, but you can't have a couple of days of cold and then 3 weeks of warm weather. And because of our peak, we're, we're looking forward. What was the load factor this last month? It was in the 50s. Yeah, which is very, very low for us. We try to get to 60 or above to have a feeling of comfort. But all that being said, uh, our 2026 budget is just over $2 million, and we are already we exceed that. So if we don't go backwards for the next 6 months, so we're going to be in I think really fine shape for the year. Water continues to prosper. We have a very healthy budget in that of 2.3 million, and we're at 1.2 right now. So, Dusty, do you want to add anything to?
I think you did well.
Yeah, it's the bottom line is financially, we are very strong, and the outlook we believe it's going to continue that trend.
All right. Any comments, questions on financials?
Quick questions. I guess it ties into financials. Is I read an article today in the Sentinel about TVA keeping 2 coal plants online.
Yes, sir.
They were going to close down. Can you give us the backstory? Or I
Sure.
know politics is probably involved. The article mentions less clean energy, and what's should we take from all that on the board?
I had meetings with the TVA board and the CEO, more than one, and throughout the whole period, my question was, do not decommission something that's working until you have something in addition or better. So the whole thing is generation. How much can you generate? And then if you're 30 or 35,000 or whatever that number is, when you take Bull Run offline out to 750 megawatts that was producing, you really want to have something to bring that back up. Then you look at Kingston, and Cumberland. All of those are deficits to the overall capacity and our ability to generate through TVA, which means you have to buy off the market, and the market is tremendously high because when you buy at peak. So all of that said is, I suggested, that I call it a stutter step with decommissioning until they're doing gas at Kingston. They've got gas. They're trying to get the lines in there, so you'll have gas generation. Don't take off the coal, which is working fine, and scrubbers are working fine. You can burn coal cleanly. I said, if you wait, I believe that the next administration, there won't be any pressure for this fossil fuel plague. That the way they say it, anything to do with fossil fuels, they didn't like at all. Well, they stalled long enough, and now this new administration is very much in mind of can we utilize the natural resource of coal that we have? And the answer to that is absolutely we can. And I think that the new TVA board members, I think they had an understanding of that coming in. And that was the result of, I think, that change in perspective of the ability to provide energy through the coal and fossil fuels. I think that's helped convince TVA's direction to hold off decommissioning these coal-fired plants. I don't know if Bull Run would have made it one way or the other.
That's my next question.
Because, the Bull Run was built in the 60s. The technology for that is different from what was built in Kingston and Cumberland, the other two that you're talking about. And there was a fundamental flaw within because it wasn't designed to last 50 years. So there was a fundamental flaw in the machinery to make that happen, which would have been another significant investment to stabilize that. These other power plants, they can turn on and turn off. Bull Run, you couldn't do that. It wasn't like a light switch, and when you turned it on, it had to stay on for a long time, and it was very faulty. They said, irrespective, Bull Run needed to come down, but not the others, and that's what they're keeping. So I think it's a very good thing and a very wise decision to keep these active for an indefinite period of time.
Thank you. Very important.
Anything else? Is there a motion to approve the monthly reports?
So moved.
Second.
Y'all, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, project status reports.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Todd, if you don't care to do electric, and Greg, I'm going to look at you for the streetscapes when that time comes.
Yes, sir. So on the electric side here, you see we've got three projects. The first two of which have been on here for a few months now. The 4-aught aerial cable up on Sequoia Road is now probably around 2/3 complete construction on that project. Seems going well here. We had a couple weeks there during the ice, and kind of road conditions up there were unfavorable. We had to stay out of there for about a week or so to that. We're back on schedule there. And hopefully plan to be, every reason indicates we'll be done up there by the end of March as expected. Same thing here on the Hidden Valley. We kicked off down there last month with it. Now it's going really well. The actual construction, and that project's going well, should be finished as well as March. And then once we kind of start there, we will start to transition here later this month, start clearing right away over New River Highway over across the mountain over there. And that project will then begin construction somewhere thereafter when one of those first two wrap up for crew, and we'll be over there through the end of June. Any questions on any of those?
Greg, you want to update them on where we are with the laterals? And
Mine's real quick. They just started installing the laterals this week. They started on Broad Street. Then they'll continue to move out throughout the project in conjunction with the concrete work. That's it.
Anything else on the project status reports? Other business, sir.
thank you, Mr. Chairman. I was invited to be interviewed at WYSH this last week, and I spent a very happy hour plus down there, talking about the CUB and what we're doing, and it was timely with coming off of the system was very successful in the storm. We sent out and released crews to help others that weren't as fortunate as we are. But it was, I think, a great opportunity to talk about some of the technology that we have here and the unique advantages that CUB has. And I thought it went very well. He was open for calls as far as I know, but no one called in, which didn't disappoint me at all, by the way. So we did, through the storm, we were very successful in that. We received a lot of compliments, some in writing and calls and everything else. It was, we were very pleased to see that. And the second thing is Todd, we signed a DVR contract with TVA in 2024, November 2024. And last year, you may or may not remember, we found there was an error in the calculation of how they did that. And I forget how much that was. I know it was probably $40,000 or $50,000 made the difference. I forget exactly. But it's not unrealistic because we were the first LPC to be able to participate into helping TVA with their grid stability and also save money because they're not buying on the spot market. So the contract was designed, and Todd found that, and looking at when they call for us to engage our virtual power plant, there is a difference in the credits that we get if it's on the weekend or if it's on a weekday. And that, Todd made that measurement and said, well, we're not getting the credits that we should get. So we did an amendment here recently to correct that. And that, I guess, was about $20-some thousand, for us. And in TVA's desire for this technology to expand, they have incentivized, I guess over $40,000 over a 12-month period for anybody else that can do anything. Unfortunately, they don't have the technology. Most don't. The overwhelming majority don't have the technology to be able to participate with TVA. But they're trying to incentivize anybody that's out there. Well, we thought, Todd goes, just because we are in this, we should also be able to participate in an incentive program because we were the ones, the trailblazers, to get you there. So he fought for that, and they agreed to that, and that's about another $43,000. So all of that to say is that if you look at your report, that we saved 70 grand this month alone. Did 70 grand this past month, on the virtual power plant. So that's working really well for us, and I wanted to share that with you, and hopefully in a couple of months I'll come back and I can find another revision in that. Do you want to say anything to that?
No, sir, you hit the highlight there. No, yeah.
I mean, that's a great benefit of having old management when you know what you're doing. Be able to look correct.
Yeah, that's right.
That's backhanded compliment. You're welcome.
Season.
But you could have done some other than
No, I was looking at Greg. I was trying to jab Todd, but I was looking at Greg specifically.
You say what you want.
No, but unfortunately, Steve's power is out at the house. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank y'all. I will just, one other comment. A couple weeks ago, I happened to be at a meeting and actually sat beside of one of the new TVA board members, Jeff Haygood. And we'll have some follow-up conversations with him at his request. But anyway, so it was good. I think it's kind of continued to get us some, I think they acknowledge kind of the work that's done out here. And, but anyway, so I thought it would probably be good for us to have that contact going forward as well, and some insight from what's going on in the field. So, any other, Mr. McLeod, you got anything?
I'm thankful that we had no power out. I know
Yeah.
some of the ice didn't hit that could have hit, but I've got a colleague in Nashville. Her and her husband live in a very nice area in Nashville. They were without power for like 5 days. Had to go to a hotel room,
Oh, yeah.
and so very thankful that we didn't get the brunt of it, but we were also prepared. Very thankful
Yeah,
for the
great
work
work
the
on that.
CEB did.
You got any more comments, Mr. Aaron?
No, that was
Mr. McBride?
I've got a question about something previous.
Okay.
We talked about the transformer down here at the old Domino's, and you all were going to look into that.
Mhm.
What
Yeah,
did you
go
find on that?
That we did take that down, and I thought I'd send something out to you on that, Jim. I think it was 12 or 14 years that was no one was
Vacant.
there.
Right.
And we waited for a long time, longer than usual, to leave that up there in anticipation of someone coming in because of the location. You would think, how long is it going to be empty? But I know it was over 10 years. I think it was 14 or 15 years back to the early 2000s.
2012, 2013, it was disconnected and out of service, and I think sat there till about 2020 till we found out, okay,
We
remove the
needed
transformer.
we needed that transformer.
We needed a transformer during COVID when they're getting scarce.
So when
and
we
also,
do that, whenever there is nothing up there, then it is the requirement of every customer that requires a transformer for that bill to pay for that.
So is there a policy in place of so many years or anything? Is that
No,
an actual
there's
policy?
not.
Not like if it sits vacant longer than 10 years.
No. But generally, it could sit vacant for less than 2.
Okay.
But it's not like we put that up on Outlook and a tickler to remind us. but we intentionally didn't replace that because of the location. Now, if it was a cabin on top of the mountain, it wouldn't survive that long at all.
Right.
But because of this location, we left it up there in anticipation. Surely somebody is going to move in. And then after so many years, and then after we took it down, it was years, still after that for him to come in.
And one of the reasons we want to take those down as well, not just scarcity costs, is that those transformers just being online are causing losses. So that's one of the ways we keep our losses low is by remove transformers that are not in use. We let us from time to time transformers not in use, and we'll go out and recover those because they just sat there have what's called no load losses, just sat there energized. They're costing us money. So.
I thought of one more question. Sometimes when you're on CUB or city council, you get told about scenarios and questions, and this person came to me and said it didn't happen to them, happened to another person. So
That's even better.
yeah, three removed. So I don't know if the facts are the way it's explained to me is someone had a water issue from the house. I'm sorry, the water issue was in the road, and my understanding, what I told him, my understanding is you own from your house to the end of your property. That's your problem, and then it's CUB's problem once it gets off your property.
To the meter.
To the meter. Okay. They acted like this person had to help pay for the concrete fixing the road. Or they maybe don't have all the facts. I don't have any particular example, but they wouldn't have to repair the road, would
issue,
they?
Greg, that
This is
Okay.
first I've heard of anything like that.
Okay.
are
try
they
to
on
get-
our system?
Yeah, they said they was. But again, I'm hearing it, and they know I'm on CUB, so they brought it to my attention. So
Well,
I'll try to get some more details. But,
either that, tell them to call Greg.
Okay.
And
but am I correct? You own the problem from your house to the meter.
no,
And we did, because the
The owner,
Yes.
my house. But from to the meter, and it would be our
Yeah.
problem. at CUB.
anything that is tied to the main is all on us.
Okay.
Because normally you at the property line or near about within the right of way generally, especially new development, that's where we're going to set the meter. But some property is very convoluted, and to get to the main, because that's what you have to do, you've got to travel a ways depending on where that thing's located. So you need to get however you need to get to us to the main, to where we come off the main in order to serve you. And then all of that service line, that's your responsibility.
Okay.
Because some people put in galvanized, some people put in copper. The choice of material is yours, and how deep you want to put it, that's up to you too. But you want to keep it deep enough to where it's not going to freeze. You want to put in quality material so you're not out there digging your lawn up. But from the meter to the main is us.
Okay. Thank you.
From the meter
I thought I
to
understood
you
that right.
is the customer.
Okay. Thank you.
Mr. McDowell? I'm resisting the urge to bring up another scenario for you, but no.
Go ahead.
No, I don't have one. I was just saying. No, but I felt left out. No, but I did want to just extend appreciation to piggyback on Rob's comments. You guys did a fantastic job during the storm. I think you told us it was around 80 trouble tickets at one point, and working all night over the weekend. We really do appreciate it, and it goes often overlooked. We kind of expect electricity and water like we expect air to breathe nowadays. So it's good to reflect back on.
Thank you for that.
And
Thank you.
the great news on the DVR stuff.
Thank you.
Good job.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Nashville's a perfect example, of Middle Tennessee, of what could have happened.
And there are a lot of lessons learned, and we watch that closely to see what we can learn from that, how that was handled. The discrepancy somewhat between Nashville and some of their neighbors as well.
All right. If there's nothing else, motion to move to close.
So moved.
Okay. Motion, meeting's adjourned.